Joseph, a young man sold into slavery by his own brothers, found himself imprisoned in Egypt. His journey had been fraught with betrayal and hardship, yet he remained steadfast in his faith. Despite his dire circumstances, God's presence remained with him, offering solace and guidance in the darkest of times. One day, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, who were also imprisoned, had vivid dreams that troubled them. These dreams were not just ordinary dreams. They were filled with deep symbolic meanings that needed interpretation.
Tell me your dreams. I believe God can provide the answers you seek.
Joseph, guided by God, listened to their dreams intently, understanding that this was an opportunity to demonstrate his faith in God's power. The cupbearer's dream, with its vivid imagery of grapes and wine, symbolized restoration to his position. It was a message of hope and renewal.
Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position. You will once again serve him as you did before.
However, the baker's dream, filled with the unsettling image of birds eating bread from baskets on his head, foretold a grim fate. It was a stark contrast to the cupbearer's hopeful vision.
The birds eating the bread from your baskets means you will be executed. In 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh.
3 days later, just as Joseph had predicted, the cupbearer was pardoned and restored to his position. Pharaoh was pleased. Yet amidst his newfound freedom, the cupbearer forgot about Joseph's kindness and the promise to remember him.
I will never forget your help, Joseph.
2 years passed. Joseph remained in prison, his hopes seemingly fading. However, God had not forgotten him. He was orchestrating a plan, a divine tapestry woven with threads of adversity and triumph. One night, Pharaoh was deeply troubled by 2 disturbing dreams that seemed to haunt his very soul. In the first dream, he saw 7 healthy cows grazing peacefully by the Nile, only to be shockingly devoured by 7 thin, gaunt cows that emerged from the river. In the second dream, he witnessed 7 healthy ears of grain, full and golden, being swallowed up by 7 withered, thin ears of grain that looked lifeless and dry. These dreams, filled with ominous symbols and unsettling imagery, left Pharaoh perplexed, distressed, and desperate for answers.
What do these dreams mean? What is the message they are trying to convey?
Desperate for answers, Pharaoh summoned all his wise men and magicians, hoping they could provide clarity. However, despite their best efforts, none could interpret the dreams or offer any insight. Then, in a moment of sudden realization, the cupbearer remembered Joseph, the young man in prison.
Pharaoh, there is a young man in prison who accurately interpreted my dream when no one else could.
With this revelation, a glimmer of hope appeared. A new chapter in Joseph's life was about to unfold, one that would change the fate of an entire nation. Section 4, Wisdom and Preparation. Joseph's Rise to Power. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh.
He listened intently as Pharaoh described his dreams.
With humility and confidence born of God's wisdom, Joseph revealed the meaning. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of severe famine in Egypt.
Joseph didn't just interpret the dreams, he offered a wise and practical solution.
He advised Pharaoh to appoint a wise and discerning man to oversee the storage of grain during the years of plenty, ensuring the nation's survival during the famine. Section 5, A Legacy of Faith, Humility, and God's Providence. This chapter delves into the remarkable journey of Joseph, a man whose life was a testament to unwavering faith and divine providence. Pharaoh, recognizing the wisdom and spirit of God in Joseph, appointed him as second in command over all of Egypt. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of a new era for Joseph, who had endured so much hardship and betrayal.
Joseph's story is a testament to God's sovereignty. His rise to power was not just a stroke of luck, but a clear indication of God's hand at work.
Even in the darkest moments, God had a plan. When Joseph was thrown into prison, it seemed like all hope was lost. But it was in that very prison that his destiny began to unfold.
And his God-given wisdom not only saved his own life, but also the lives of countless others. His ability to interpret dreams was a gift that brought him before Pharaoh and ultimately saved Egypt from a devastating famine. His ability to forgive, even those who had wronged him deeply, showcased his profound humility and strength of character. Joseph's unwavering faith, his constant trust in God's plan, was the cornerstone of his life. He never wavered, even when faced with insurmountable challenges.
Remember Joseph's words, "Do not be afraid." These words were not just for his brothers, but for all of us, a reminder to trust in God's greater plan.
Am I in the place of God? Joseph's humility is evident in this rhetorical question, acknowledging that ultimate judgment belongs to God alone.
You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of Joseph's journey and the overarching theme of divine providence.
Genesis 50:19-20. These verses remind us that no matter the circumstances, God's plan is always at work, turning what was meant for harm into something good.
For more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe to